Hello students and welcome back to my channel. I'm Nadia Patel. We are already discussing software engineering with UML, under which we are discussing system development life cycle. We have already gone through the diagram overview of SDLC. We have completed two phases, which are planning and requirement analysis and system analysis. In today's lecture, we will go through the third phase of development, which is design and development. But before that, I would also like to recall and remind you about two diagrams which we went through, which were about, you can say, elements of system and systems diagram, very importantly. These were the two diagrams we have discussed in detail. In the third phase of development of SDLC, where you are actually going to design and develop the system, you should keep in mind this diagram. So where we have discussed already the environment, boundary, subsystems, smaller systems, every single thing. So here what we are going to do is, this exactly is the most, you can say, difficult or little challenging phase of development, as it is going to turn all the theoretical things which were on paper, which you have discussed with your client, which were in the form of requirements, you're going to turn them into reality. So it is a quite creative and challenging kind of a phase. We are going to decide all the elements of the system. Remember the diagram? The elements, the smaller parts, the subsystems, every single thing will be discussed. We are discussing a case study of constructing the house. So elements, you can say rooms, your hall, your floors, every single thing, the front yard, the backyard, you can say play area if you have already discussed it with your client. Every single smaller room or part of this house is going to be the element of that system. So all the components, their interfaces, security levels, modules, architectures. So these terms are quite, you can say, technical, which we can apply directly to a software development. But in our case study, what you can do is, you can think of every single smaller component. Those could be doors. Nowadays, house automation or home automation come up with doors having passwords or pattern locks or a touch panel, small kind of a touch panel. So those, setting up those kind of elements in your house are also a part of the system itself. Your system's final process is actually going to get fixed. We are not going to make any more changes now. We have gathered the requirement. We have developed a design with the help of DFT. We have analyzed the complete system as a single unit. In this phase, we are going to develop it. So actual system is going to get built here. One basic question which we are going to consider in this phase is how the problem we actually solve now. We have understood the problem or need. We have also formulated certain solutions in the second phase. We have improved the solution as well. Now we are going to just, you can say, work on the solution and make it done. So we are going to discuss that what should we do now. If you can say one more added problem is that the customer has given a deadline of, you can say they have decided a date on which they are expecting to perform their housewarming ceremony, and they're expecting us to construct that house before that. That also becomes a restriction or a constraint. So we are going to sit, discuss that we are going to build the house now, and sit and find out that yes, now the technicality is going to start and real life problems are also going to come up. Again, in this phase, we are going to perform certain activities which are two major or basic or important activity, which is creating a logical and a physical design. Now, what exactly is a logical design and what exactly is a physical design? As the name is suggesting, logical design is going to give us that what exactly the system is going to do. Physical design is going to give us the equipments needed to perform what the system will do. Say for example, system is going to do is, it is going to provide a shelter or stay, or if the case study part 2, remember, which we have discussed, that the people want to convert this house in coming future into a hostel. So this system is going to provide, you can say, a stay for people who are going to be there for a limited period of time. So equipments needed to perform this system would be what? Mostly those would be the resources. Like what are the right resources to be used? See, if it is a hostel, it is going to be for students. We need to build such, you can say, rooms or such construction where there should be very low amount of disturbance of one room into another. We are actually discussing real life things right now. Into system analysis design, or whenever you are studying system, you can pick up any system and carry out a detailed discussion about it. Like if you have a restaurant in your locality, or you have a small factory, say for example, it is a factory for, you can say, cashew nut maybe. So what exactly does this factory does? What is the goal? What is the ultimate, you can say, working, manual working or functioning of that factory? That factory is going to bring fruits of cashews. They are going to separate out that fruit and the nuts. They are going to, you can say, carry out some certain process. Now, if the factory is, you can say, not on a very large scale, it will have very limited of machineries or automation. They will have workers. So, as a developer, what you should do is, whenever you are looking towards such real life systems, you should carry out fact finding techniques. If you are good at observation, you will observe that a lot of people or helping hands in the form of humans are there in that factory. So definitely there would be a payroll kind of system where the factory has a proper, you can say, salary calculation or salary giving part. That is a subsystem. Secondly, there is a raw material processing involved somewhere, because they are plucking the fruits, they are separating out the fruit and the nut. Again, there are some certain chemicals used so that the acid from that fruit doesn't harm the factory workers. So there is some raw material involved. If they are using raw material, they are definitely buying it from somewhere. So there is some buying involved. Again, even if it is not a big factory, but still some transportation will be required. So these are certain things which are logical things. Okay, so right now we are discussing logical things, but physically, how are they carrying out that process? Like what I told is, how do they get those fruit to their factory? So some transportation will be required. During the transportation, there cannot be some wear and tear, or you cannot dump all the fruits in, you can say, a tin or a can and bring it. There has to be some sorted manner of, right packing or something, some processing involved. You need to go there, observe, ask them that what is that thing which helps this logic to bring into reality. In our case, we are discussing the construction of house. So here, the discussion was about either creating a hostel or creating a home for a family. So resources is something that you can say physically you are going to use. In logical, we discuss outputs, that this system has output what? Case study, home, house is the output. And physically, what resource will be required is what type of house you want to build. Is it a house made of wooden? Is it a house made of, you can say, stone carved, something like that? Or is it going to be a normal, regular red brick house? So these are the resources which come under physicality, and actual development is going to complete here. We have kept a dedicated phase for development. We have not, you can say, again, created 2-3 phases. No doubt, you can break this phase down into simpler, smaller phases and carry out the development of creation or building in here. So our house is going to constructed in this phase itself. So that's it. This is the third phase of development. Thank you. Keep learning.